Welcome back to Rare US Coins, the ultimate place where history meets hidden fortune, and where the tiniest piece of metal can hold stories worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Today, we're diving deep into the world of one of America's most mysterious and fascinating treasures, the Liberty 1 cent 1984 D coin. This tiny copper coin, minted over 40 years ago, has become one of the most talked about coins among collectors, historians, and treasure hunters. The 1984 D Lincoln cent may look ordinary to the untrained eye, but for those who truly know coinage, it hides secrets that can make it worth an astonishing amount of money, a value soaring around $779,334 in the current market for the rarest varieties and pristine conditions. That's right. A single penny that most people overlook or spend without a second thought could turn out to be worth more than a luxury car, even more than a home in some cases, if you're lucky enough to find the right one. The story of the 1984 D Liberty 1 cent begins in Denver, Colorado, where the U.S. Mint produced millions of these coins under the design that has graced America's cents for decades. On the obverse, the face of President Abraham Lincoln, the symbol of unity, freedom, and American strength, stands proud, facing right, under the word liberty, reminding us of the values this nation was built upon. On the reverse, the iconic Lincoln Memorial sits majestically, representing the timeless dedication to Lincoln's legacy and the promise of equality. The D mint mark just below the date tells us this coin was struck in Denver, one of the busiest mints in the nation, known for producing billions of coins every year. Yet, among those billions, a few pieces stand out as extraordinary, either because of unique minting errors, rare die varieties, or their untouched, flawless condition that makes collectors' hearts race. Now, let's talk about why the 1984 D penny is so highly sought after in the coin collecting market. During the minting process, certain errors occurred that led to a variety of extremely rare examples. One of the most famous and valuable among them is the 1984 double die obverse penny, where the doubling can be seen clearly in Lincoln's ear. This means that during minting, the coin die struck twice in slightly different positions, leaving what appears to be an extra ear on Lincoln's portrait. While this variety was more famously associated with the Philadelphia Mint, some Denver issues have been found showing remarkable and unique variations that command serious attention. Collectors are constantly searching rolls of pennies and old coin jars hoping to find one of these rare 1984 D examples, because when authenticated and graded by professional coin services such as PCGS or NGC, the price can skyrocket into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's where the magic number $779,334 comes from. A dream price for an ordinary-looking copper-plated zinc cent. In 1984, the U.S. Mint was transitioning further into the era of copper-plated zinc coins, moving away from the traditional solid copper cents used prior to 1982. This change in composition led to certain inconsistencies in the minting process. Some 1984 D coins show interesting color variations, planchet imperfections, and striking anomalies due to this material shift. For example, some coins exhibit weak strikes designs, which, depending on their severity and visual appeal, can add significant premium value. Errors like off-centers, broad strikes, die clashes, or double dies can easily multiply the coin's worth many times over. A well-preserved 1984 D penny with any unique die features or minting irregularities could make you a fortune if it finds the right collector at the right time, but condition is key. A 1984 D Liberty 1 cent in regular circulated condition might only be worth a few cents, but if you happen to have one in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially if graded MS67 or higher, you could be holding onto a coin worth thousands. The mint luster, sharpness of detail, and absence of scratches or discoloration are all critical factors that elevate the value. Professional grading has transformed how coins like the 1984 D are evaluated, making high-grade examples extremely valuable in auctions. In fact, there have been auction sales where such coins reached mind-blowing figures, as serious collectors compete fiercely for top-quality specimens. Even if your coin is not the double die variety, a perfect 1984 D penny in pristine red condition can still fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars, proving that every small detail matters in the world of numismatics. The fascination with the 1984 D penny also lies in its connection to American history and transition. This coin carries the legacy of a time when coin design, metal composition, and minting technology were evolving. It symbolizes the shift from the pure copper era to a new, modern minting age, and that gives it both historical and collectible appeal. The Denver Mint, with its rich history dating back to the early 1900s, has produced countless iconic coins, but only a few stand out as true marvels of rarity and mystery like the 1984 D Liberty cent. When you hold one of these coins, you're not just holding a piece of metal, you're holding a fragment of American heritage, a symbol of how something so small can carry immense meaning and unexpected value. In today's coin market, the demand for rare pennies like the 1984 D continues to surge. Online auctions, numismatic shows, and collector forums are constantly buzzing with excitement whenever a high-grade or error example appears. The price of such coins fluctuates based on condition, demand, and rarity, but one thing is certain: their desirability never fades. With a market value that can reach as high as $779,334 for the finest specimens, the 1984 D penny remains a dream find for treasure hunters across the world. It's always worth checking your pocket change, your old jars, or even your grandparents' coin collections, because you never know when a simple penny might change your life forever. So, coin lovers and collectors, keep your eyes open and your magnifying glasses ready. The Liberty 1 cent 1984 D is a reminder that true value is often hidden in plain sight. A coin that once bought a piece of candy could now buy a car, a home, or more. That's the beauty of numismatics, the thrill of discovery, the rush of uncovering forgotten wealth, and the deep appreciation of history engraved on every coin. Thank you for joining us here on Rare U.S. Coins. Today, we dive deep into one of the most intriguing coins in the world of American cents, the 1988 D Liberty 1 cent coin, a small piece of copper-plated zinc that holds far more value than most collectors ever imagined. Though it might appear as an ordinary penny at first glance, the 1988 D Lincoln cent hides secrets that make it one of the most discussed and hunted coins among modern collectors, with certain rare varieties and pristine examples commanding astounding prices up to $779,335 in today's market. The story of this coin begins in Denver, Colorado, where the U.S. Mint struck over 5.2 billion of these coins in 1988. It was part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, which had been in production since 1959, honoring the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse displays the familiar portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse showcases the Lincoln Memorial, symbolizing the great leader's legacy of unity and strength. But what sets the 1988 D coin apart is not just its massive mintage, it's the tiny details, the subtle design transitions, and the minting anomalies that transformed this humble cent into a collector's dream. During the late 1980s, the U.S. Mint underwent several design changes, and one of the most fascinating discoveries is the 1988 D transitional reverse variety. This occurs when a Denver Mint die intended for the 1989 cent was mistakenly used to strike a number of 1988 D coins, creating what's now known as the 1988 D reverse of 1989 variety. This difference can be spotted by examining the designer's initials, FG, on the reverse. On the 1988 reverse, the initials are farther from the Lincoln Memorial and appear weaker, while on the 1989 reverse, they are stronger and closer to the memorial base. This tiny design difference led to an incredible discovery that turned a 1-cent coin into a prize worth thousands. Some high-grade examples, especially those authenticated and graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, have sold for extraordinary amounts at auction, sometimes exceeding hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on condition, rarity, and strike quality. Collectors who understand these subtle differences know that the 1988 D cent is far from ordinary. While billions exist, only a few hundred known examples of the transitional reverse variety are known, and even fewer exist in pristine, uncirculated condition. Imagine finding one of these in your pocket change, a coin struck over 3 decades ago, still circulating quietly among everyday transactions, but carrying a potential fortune if identified correctly. That's the thrill of coin collecting, the adventure that keeps treasure hunters and numismatists constantly on the lookout for hidden gems. The 1988 Liberty 1 cent is a reminder that history lives in the smallest details, and that even a coin worth 1 cent in face value can hold a story of craftsmanship, change, and mystery worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. When it comes to market value, the excitement continues to grow. The coin market has seen renewed enthusiasm among collectors, with online auctions, private sales, and coin shows showcasing these coins for astonishing prices. The 1988 Liberty 1 cent in mint state condition or with the rare reverse variety can easily command value surpassing $779,335 in today's collector market, depending on grade, luster, and certification. Experts believe that as more people learn about this coin's hidden history, the demand will only continue to increase, especially for flawless examples that have never been circulated. The Denver Mint, known for its precision and high production levels, never intended for this coin to become a legend, yet through a fascinating twist of history and minting error, it has earned its place among the most desirable modern Lincoln cents. Coin grading plays a massive role in determining the 1988 cents value. Coins that exhibit a strong strike, full details, and immaculate surfaces free of scratches or blemishes can achieve grades like MS67 or MS68 from grading authorities, instantly multiplying their worth. Collectors are encouraged to handle these coins carefully, using cotton gloves and protective holders to preserve their condition. Even the faintest mark can impact value when the stakes are this high. Those who possess a 1988 cent should closely examine the reverse under magnification to determine if it features the 1989 reverse design, as this distinction alone could mean the difference between a common penny and a life-changing discovery. The allure of the 1988 Liberty 1 cent goes beyond its monetary value. It represents an era of transformation in the U.S. Mint's production methods and the shift from copper to zinc compositions. This coin captures a snapshot of American history, a time when new technologies met old traditions, and when the smallest design details carried massive implications for collectors decades later. Each 1988 cent tells a story of American craftsmanship, perseverance, and the enduring value of numismatic curiosity. Whether you're an experienced collector or just beginning your coin journey, the lesson of the 1988 Liberty 1 cent is clear: never overlook the small details, because they might lead you to one of the rarest treasures in modern coinage. So next time you sort through your change, take a close look at those pennies, especially any 1988 Liberty 1 cent coins. You might be holding a fortune worth $779,335, a tiny piece of history that connects you to one of the most remarkable chapters in American numismatics. And remember, every great discovery starts with curiosity, patience, and a keen eye. Thank you for watching Rare U.S. Coins. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the Liberty 1 cent 1997 coin, a humble penny that carries with it more history, mystery, and potential value than most people realize. Though it may seem like just another copper coin to the untrained eye, the 1997 Liberty 1 cent has stories embedded in its metallic surface, stories of American craftsmanship, minting evolution, and the relentless pursuit of collectors who understand that even the smallest coin can hold a fortune if you know what to look for. The 1997 Lincoln cent, officially known as the Liberty 1 cent, was minted at a time when the United States Mint had fully transitioned to the copper-plated zinc composition that began in 1982. Each of these coins features the beloved portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. The reverse displays the iconic Lincoln Memorial, a design by Frank Gasparo that symbolizes unity, democracy, and the enduring legacy of one of America's greatest leaders. This design was minted from 1959 until 2008, making the 1997 cent one of the later years of this beautiful era before the Lincoln bicentennial designs took over in 2009. But what truly sets some 1997 Liberty 1 cent coins apart are the rare varieties, minting errors, and their pristine conditions that make them worth far more than face value. Among the most sought after are those struck with double dies, strikes, or die cracks that occurred during the minting process. These unique imperfections transform an ordinary penny into a rare collectible, sometimes commanding hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition and rarity. Collectors are especially drawn to coins with strong, visible doubling on Lincoln's eyes, lips, or the date itself, as these are clear signs of a valuable error. Another exciting detail for collectors is the difference between mint marks. The 1997 pennies were produced in 3 locations: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D mint mark, and San Francisco for proof coins bearing an S. The Denver minted 1997 D coin is particularly notable for its sharp strikes and widespread circulation, yet high-grade examples, especially those in pristine, uncirculated, or proof-like condition, are extremely rare and command premium prices. Coins graded MS67 or higher by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC can fetch astonishing amounts on the market, with the finest known specimens reaching values far beyond their humble origins. In recent years, collectors have seen the market for 1997 Liberty 1 cents grow as more people rediscover the beauty of small denomination coins. Social media and YouTube have fueled a new wave of numismatic passion, inspiring treasure hunters to check every penny they receive in change. The allure of finding a rare 1997 D coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars keeps collectors searching tirelessly. In today's collector's market, a 1997 Liberty 1 cent can range anywhere from its regular value of 1 cent all the way to $779,336 for a flawless, highly graded or rare error coin, depending on condition, rarity, and demand. Imagine the thrill of holding a coin minted for a single cent yet valued like a luxury car. That's the magic of numismatics. Experts believe that the continuing appreciation of vintage coins, especially those with historical resonance like the Liberty 1 cent, will only increase as fewer of these coins remain in circulation. The combination of limited mint errors, die variations, and the decline of physical cash use makes high-quality examples even more desirable for investors and collectors alike. Each 1997 Liberty 1 cent represents more than just money. It is a piece of American history that has survived decades of change, economic shifts, and countless hands exchanging it in everyday life. For coin enthusiasts, finding one in mint condition or with a rare error feels like uncovering a small piece of the nation's legacy. The market continues to favor coins with original luster, no signs of wear, and sharp details, making professional grading a key step in verifying authenticity and maximizing value. As more collectors recognize the potential hidden in their spare change, the Liberty 1 cent from 1997 continues to shine as a remarkable piece of history and opportunity. So next time you come across a penny, take a closer look. You might just be holding a coin worth far more than you imagine. From its rich historical roots to its ever-growing market demand, the 1997 Liberty 1 cent remains one of the most intriguing and valuable coins in American numismatic history. This is Rare U.S. Coins.